Hartley County Board of Education order at 5 p.m. on August the 4th, 2024. And Mrs. Van would you do some prayer, please?
Oh, sure, I'd be happy to. Heavenly Father, we thank you for the opportunity to come before you today. We ask that you help us to do your will and your work and do what's best for Hardy County Schools. Continue to bless us and give us for all of our provisions as needed. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Mr. Hines, would you lead some pledge?
Stay seated.
Pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, sir. Go around the room for introductions. Start with Mr. C.
Josh C.
Roy Harper.
Janet Rose.
Sean Collars,
Sheena Van Meter.
Melvin Shook.
Doug Hines.
Jennifer Strouderman.
Warren Staggers.
Welcome, everyone. It's good to see everybody this evening. First order of business this evening is maintenance and transportation updates. Mr. C.
I've got quite a few notes. I tried to break it down building by building. If I say something, and you have a question, interrupt me at any time, please. I start with the intermediate school. The lighting is complete in the gym and the cafeteria. It's all LEDs. It's extremely bright. Mr. McGregor was able to get EA Haas, some donations from EA Haas to professionally redo the floor, the gym floor. So that gym looks probably better than it did the day the doors opened for that building. At East Hardy Elementary School, that leak that we found last year, I made a diagram earlier today when I was talking to Dr. Van Meter, and what our best guess is. So the valve, the big school, East Hardy Elementary School sits here. The valve's right here where you turn in down the road, and then the buses all park back against here. That valve's here, and this line comes down, and you can actually see the line. So as the line came down in the first place, we fixed this one. This is the leak that we fixed last fall. And it was split in the bottom of the pipe. We turned the water back on, it didn't leak, there was nothing there. Once we found that it was leaking again, we hand dug down here. This went down 5 to 6 feet before we could find that elbow in that line. It wasn't there. As the line comes across, it gets really tight in between these two buildings. There's a lot of Musco lightings on the backside of this. So we hand dug that piece, but having Steve Williams on site out in the middle school, I've been picking his brain a lot. And he was telling me there's another joint just up from that. It's closer to that field house building that when we get a second, we're going to try and we're going to hand dig this one back down again. If we cannot find it there, I've already had ER Excavating, Eugene Rinker, on site. He thinks that he can get us and bore us a line underneath the parking lot straight back to that building. But again, we don't know if that bust is in this line from here to here, because this building also feeds all the baseball facilities down at the bottom, and that leak has not shown itself yet.
And Josh, that's the concession stand?
This is the concession, this is the field
house.
house.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry.
That's okay,
Yeah,
just clarify.
But it's in between those two. So these are the two spots we've dug, fixed it there, it's not there. This is number 3, we'll check there, and then the next piece is to get Eugene back over there again. But it is a headache. I couldn't turn the water off this summer. The baseball team had all the state championships. They hosted several Little League tournaments. And the next thing you know, Devon's having flex days. So I couldn't turn that valve off. So you had to let it run so they had water, or it was somebody running over there back and forth. And it's about 5 feet down. You have to use a shovel and bang on that valve to get it to turn on and off. So it's kind of a hiccup and a headache. But I mean, we're trying to do our due diligence with it, but it's not showing itself. That's 2 years now that it hasn't showed it. Last year with the drought, there wasn't a green spot anywhere. And this year with all the rain, there's mud holes all over the place. So we are trying our best to try to find that leak. But
Has he
That's
given
what
you
we
a
did.
quote on replacing that line yet or not?
no, he hasn't. Because we wanted to hand dig those 2 spots first,
Right.
but he told me he could do it. That's what I wanted to hear
Right.
from him, rather than us trying to dig another line that he could bore.
Right.
Yeah, he treats us right, I believe.
That's PSD water.
PSD.
So there's no cutoff from the field house.
No, once it's open to here, it feeds it straight down. Yeah. You can cut it off into either or,
Right.
but you can't, you can stop it there, but that just tells us that it could be right there. Yeah. You can see both lines come up in both buildings. It comes up through the concrete in both buildings, so you can see where the line is. So it's pretty easy to dig. It's only like 3 feet in here, which makes it a fairly easy dig for us, but we'll jump on that, and you'll know the reason why we haven't gotten to that here in a second. Moorfield Middle School, this is kind of long. I'll go through what's been completed. So everything on the project right now that has been completed to this point, the boiler room is at 98% complete. The controls, there's a little bit of control work to be completed. That is with Train on the control side. LAP has finished. They put all the pumps in, all the piping, they've replumbed everything. It looks really, really good when you go in there. Those pumps look like 2 fire trucks in there. They're enormous. The boilers, pumps, new piping, all installed. The cooling tower is installed, waiting on a date to start it up. And they're waiting to see what fluid they're going to put in the line before they start it up. There was a mix-up that they were thinking that it should be water in there, and we were saying no, that we wanted a green glycol, an environmentally friendly glycol to go in it, which makes sense. So we're waiting to see what they come up with there, but that's just a little bit of paperwork. Train's working to get all the controls integrated into the new controls, and they are near complete on it. On the RTUs, the rooftop units, the top up there, all the units are into 2. They were supposed to ship out today. Those are both DOAS units. They will have Adam with Bell is adamant that we have air in those buildings by August 10th. So even if we have to use the older water source heat pumps, we'll be able to air condition and heat that building when the students come. When the power goes down, there's a humongous breaker that you have to go in. You have to kill all the other breakers, and you have to pump it up. I don't know if you guys have ever seen it or not. S&S took a look at it, and they realized that the spring inside of it was broken. Excuse me. And we went ahead and ordered one. We got it worked out. It was broken. We were able to swap it out. Took about 2 hours to swap it out. We got that thing back in place. So we had one more plus to our money that we were able to replace a breaker that was previously broken prior to the job, that the SBA money is paying for that. And that was about $13,000 just for the breaker itself. But it is in place. It's up and going and ready to go. Excuse me. Some of the things that were added after the initial quote, the water source heat pumps. They're somewhere between 40 and 60. I can't remember the exact number. They are now supposed to arrive on August 29th. And there's a great big question mark beside of that. Upon their arrival, they are then going to shift over to a night shift. They're assuming that they'll be able to get started around 3:30 every day. They don't know. Steve seems to think that they can do 3 to 4 a day. Those guys say no, they might be able to get 2. It's just because they have to run the duct work, but they've already cut the holes in the wall. So when everything comes, they can run the duct, it can come straight out, and it should be fairly quick. Along with that, the ceiling tiles that were in that building were obsolete. They were mismatched all over the building because of the roof leaking. We couldn't get them. We were able to go in and all the common areas, the library, the hallways, the cafeteria, all now match. They're all brand new. If you go in the building, you may still see some of the old ones, and where the old ones are or where the water source heat pumps are, because we did not remove those yet, just for a quick location. When we go back in the building, we can pop those out and throw new ones back in. And then their new estimated timeline for completion, because of those pushbacks on those water source heat pumps, is mid to late October. Not exactly what we were looking for, but it should be a pretty good job once we get done. The roof is complete except for a little bit of work on the coping, which is just the wrap that goes around the outside of it. And they're waiting on another rainstorm to check leaks again. We had 3 on the last rainstorm. They were all fixed, so we're just waiting again for more rainstorms to make sure that we're up and 100% on those.
What's the water source heat pumps?
The water source heat pumps. So we'll see if I can figure this out. I've learned a lot, but I don't know if I have all your ports. So up in the ceiling, in the hallways, there is a unit that when it comes from the boiler, you have the cooling tower, boiler pumps it through, it either heats it or it cools it. And that is what your air is forced out. It's forced out across that water. And then, so this is what is in the hallway outside the classroom. So there's like one for every 2 classrooms.
Now, present,
Now present.
so the ones you're getting are just to replace.
1 for 1.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
it's one
that's
to
why you can cool the,
Yes, sir. Yeah. Yeah, and there's several of them in there that have been rebuilt over time. There's one in there in particular that starting my 5th year that I've been a part of rebuilding it twice already. So they were in bad shape in 1997, now 28 years old. So they were long lived their lifetime. The custodians in that building, they have completed the 6th grade wing is completely complete, all classrooms and hallway. The office area is complete. The locker rooms are complete. The 8th grade wing needs wax in the hallway. The library is 3/4 complete. And the only reason it's 3/4 is Harry now has to take the furniture that was on the one side, move it over to the side that's complete, and go back and hit that side. The band room is complete. The ag room is half complete. It's half complete, same scenario as the library, just moving furniture back over to the other side. We did remove all those old tables that you had in there forever, and it took quite a few razor blades and some elbow grease to get 30 years of dirt off the floor there. And then the only thing they will have left after that are concessions, the hallways, and then if you guys are familiar where the gates are in the hallway to the cafeteria, and the building will be done. So that's the only thing that Harry has left. So even with the heavy equipment and everything that's going on in there, Harry made a statement today that they've done really good considering the amount of construction that's gone on. Any questions on the middle school? All right, MHS, the generator went down, the whole end of it blew off. I don't know the terminology for it. We were able to get a gentleman from Grant County, Smiths. They came in and ordered the part. It's back up and online and running now. We're just still having those issues with power outages at Moorfield High School. I don't know what's causing it. Surge protectors are in place, but it's just random. It can be middle of the day, it can be middle of the night, it can be on the weekend, but we have to come in constantly and turn the power back on. But the generator was down. Now, the reason we haven't been able to dig that yet is our mowing contractor had breached contract. I got on him pretty hard about trimming and not mowing enough. So he backed out of his contract. So we were able to take, what we've been trying to do is we've got a 25-year-old Kubota out here that ironically today, gearbox that turns the PTO that drives the blades broke on us. But we've been trying to get everything caught up with it, but everything was so high that we were having to cut it 2 and 3 times. We just couldn't beat it down. The Johnson grass was already in seed. It looked like a Vietnam bamboo forest. I mean, it was just crazy. We bought some weed killer. We've been, trying to get around the edge of the track. Track looks amazing if you haven't been out there yet, by the way. And get everything back from it. We brought in personal equipment, weed eaters, pole saws, everything, trying to get it looking decent. We do have it back out for bid again. Waiting for quotes to come on that. And I'm hoping that we can have somebody approved at the next board meeting. So that'll give us maybe a week that we can get some professional out there and have it cleaned up and looking decent when everybody comes back. There are several volunteers. Lyle Robbins, he took an 8-foot brush hog over to East Hardy and was able to knock down a pile of stuff over this weekend for us. It looks better than it did. It's not down to where we want it yet, but we'll get the mowers on top of it. But Lyle gave us one heck of a really good head start on that. The second mower that we're using is actually the CTE mower. It's not a bad, it's a 0 turn. It's got like a 4-foot blade on it, but it's lacking about 1,500 RPM. So it's taking us a little bit longer. And right now, currently, that is the only mower that we have available to us. On the transportation side, I talked to Andy today. He said about 85 to 90% of the buses are ready for the new school year. We've already had 1 bus inspection. I don't know if Dr. Van Meter shared that with you yet or not. We've already had 1, but he said they all will be ready. So what we did this year is we redid all the air dryers. We rebuilt all the air dryers. We changed the filters, replaced the filters. We cleaned and re-greased the entire chassis on every bus. Repaired the little things that we found along the way. We turned over the quotes to Sarah for the new buses, and we're still waiting on a decision from you whether we're going to lease or whether you want me to order new again.
And Sarah has reached out to Country Roads Leasing to get the final numbers on those that she said she would have at the next meeting for you guys, and we'll make a final call on that.
And wasn't that lease purchase?
Yep.
And
And she's doing
then
4, I think, is what her.
just the last piece, kind of close it out, the fall extracurricular schedules are, they're starting to come in. We're working, scheduling, getting all those. Having the buses over on the CTE lot, I went back and I found that sign. I was able to hang the sign up. We had one student getting ready to complete, test out. And I think we have somewhere 3 or 4 waiting for the next class to start. So the sign kind of worked for itself again, and we've got some drivers hopefully lined up and get some new sub guys. I know we do have one driver retiring this year. We did have one sub that's already resigned that was retired previously. And so our numbers are really low on the sub side, but hopefully we can cover everything until we get these new people in place. But that's all I have. It's a lot. Most I've had in a while.
That was good.
Okay.
Thank you. Mr.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Sean.
Next on the agenda, student achievement recognition. You have anything?
I do. Would you pass those around for me, please?
Thank you.
I wanted to share with you an update that we received from the State Department. Interestingly enough, this would be the number of in-school suspensions in the column that's on the left to the dark at the top, and then on the right it shows out-of-school suspensions. And you'll see that it's all of the counties in the state. And if you look at Hardee County, you'll see that in 2024, we had 58 students that had ISS. And in 2025, we went up and we had 59 students with in-school suspensions, which was 1 student increase and a difference of 1.7%. In 2024, for out-of-school suspensions, we had 93. And then in 2025, we went down to 65, which would be a difference of 28 students, 30%. And if you see it says data note needed, yes, for OSS, it's because we improved so much that they wanted to know why. So we actually had to send something to the State Department to say, yeah, we were telling administrators as much as possible, do something where you keep the kids in school instead of putting them out of school. So we're trying to keep them in the building. And you can also see that wasn't really reflected in in-school suspensions. So they've been trying different approaches with kids, doing things with the social workers, doing things with guidance counselors, more restorative practices than just kicking them out of school. So I was really pleased to see that Hardee County had that big of a difference. And that helps our attendance too, because when kids are in out-of-school suspension, that's an absence. So another reason why we said, hey, let's try some different things. So your administrators have done a really nice job making those changes for the year, and hopefully, we'll continue to see that pattern over the coming year. But I wanted to share that with you because I thought that was a nice piece of data to pass along. And we've talked to Bonnie Kreitz, and as long as the scores are not still embargoed, she will be at the first meeting in September to give you an overall data presentation of scores for the year and where we fall. We're just waiting for the state to release all the embargoed data. And that's all I have.
No public comment this evening. Next on the agenda is consent items.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Properly moved and second to approve the consent items. Any discussion? If not, proceed to vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, like sign. The vote is 4-0. Next on the agenda, unfinished business, approval of in-county and out-of-county student transfer JBE attachment 2.
Move to approve.
Second.
Properly moved and second to approve policy JBE. Any discussion?
Yes, so you have at your seat a printed out new version of that. Because while it had been out for first reading, I changed my mind. I wanted to add something else. So made some adjustments to this policy, and I would like to put it back out for second reading. And the changes that you'll see under admission, we just added a line that says Hardee County Schools reserves the right to deny any transfer as permitted by West Virginia Board of Education Policy 7212 and West Virginia Code 18-5-16A. And basically that same line is found under a new section, rescinding of transfer, on the back of that towards the bottom. And the reason for that is, while we had outlined several reasons here in our policy,
The state gives an all-encompassing list of what those reasons are in their policy and in code. And we might at some point want to utilize one of those reasons. And I didn't want to have to write it all out in the policy. So we just wanted to make sure, even if they adjust theirs, add or take away, we've got it. It's laying on your seat, Janet. Should have been laying right there. It looks like that. In your pile.
It's not gonna be helpful.
It wasn't in your packet. It was laid there today.
On the bottom.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
But those, I would, with your permission, like to put that back out, just so our bases are covered.
Agreed.
So then we would just need a recommendation to put it out for a second reading. with-
So moved. Second.
Properly moved in second to put policy JBE out for second reading. Any other discussion?
Thank you.
If not, proceed to vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, like sign. Vote is 4-0. Next on the agenda, new business, approval of medical examination policy, GBOA. This is out for first reading.
Move to approve.
Second.
Properly moved in second to approve GBOA for first reading. Any discussion? If not, proceed to vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, like sign. Vote is 4-0. Next on the agenda, discussion of Baker Part D. That would be Mr. Staggers.
Yes, and it's my recommendation, given that this discussion would surround possible lane transactions as well as any legal advice or any communications that are protected by attorney-client privilege. I would recommend that these discussions happen in executive session.
Is there a motion to go into executive session?
So moved.
Properly moved in second to go into executive session to discuss the Baker Park deed. Any other discussion? If not, proceed to vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, like sign. The vote is 4-0. motion?
Move we come out of executive session.
Second.
Probably move to come out of executive session. Any discussion? If not, proceed to vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, like sign. And vote is 4-0, shows out of executive session at 6:08. Next on the agenda is board member and superintendent discussion. No action may be taken.
This one is interesting. Well, first of all, I'll say, I passed around to you at your spots a little stapled together packet of paper that was the cell phone guidelines per school. And I gave you all schools, and they're just an email form, because I said, hey, send these to me so I can share them with the board. Hand it out to you separately to your, if not in the handbook, it'll go directly to the students. That's this individual school's guidelines, except for Moorfield Elementary and Moorfield Intermediate. And they have it, but it just says students aren't allowed to use cell phones at all, period, in the story. So I
Boom.
think that was
Yeah.
necessary to share. So you have that. What I just passed around is a request from Mrs. Campbell that I told her I would get your feedback on. She is requesting, and I guess she did this in Grant County maybe, and you'll see a lot of counties do this, to allow her seniors only to paint their parking spots. And what you see is her very detailed outline of how that would happen. So basically, they have to present to her ahead of time for approval, their design in the square. It's very specific. And then if she approves it, there's one day within a certain amount of time that they all come and they paint their spots. At the end of the year, by May 28th, it has to be painted over in flat black paint to undo it. She's requested that they be able to do that, and I told her that I would bring this to you guys for your consideration. I personally don't have an issue with it if it's kept within these very specific guidelines, and seniors only, but that would be.
The only thing that would bother me, I could see somebody, if you have an enemy coming back and painting over it like at night or something like that.
That would be vandalism, I would think.
Yeah, but I can
So they
see,
probably got cameras everywhere nowadays. So.
if you have a boyfriend, girlfriend's bat or Petersburg Moorfield football game,
Somebody's,
I mean,
somebody's
really,
getting it,
you
yeah.
could, but I mean, that's neither here nor there. That's kind of a neat idea.
Are they doing it as a fundraiser? I don't see any,
I don't think
Right.
so.
No,
I think
no.
it's just
Just school
being
spirit.
They
there.
already, like, I'd say they already do their parking permit, or, yeah.
they pay
Support
for
being-
that.
say.
For becoming
This
a
is just,
senior.
if you're a senior, you get to do it.
Yeah. to
And
be
this
fine.
is school spirit then,
You need a
senior
motion to
spirit.
approve?
No, because it's not an action item. I just told her I would ask him if you were
Okay.
okay with it, I would approve it, but it was
I
one
think
of
it's
those
kinda
things that
neat.
was
That's a great idea, I think.
then
Thing that-
everybody's okay with it.
But she has to approve it, which
Right,
I
right, they have to
like.
be approved.
Yes.
I like the fact that it has to be approved,
Yeah.
I see a big old
therefore it has to
Confederate
be
flag.
appropriate.
You might get all
You don't get
kinds
to
of
paint your
things.
spot.
Well, but I'm saying, would that be offensive to some people? Would, I mean, really, think about it.
I think she'll stay away from any type of politically, in any realm charged design, just to be safe.
Extensive discussions on dress code, and I would implore them that those type
Not-
of things
yeah.
would also.
Just stay neutral.
What if someone says violating my freedom of speech?
Then
Tackle
we'll
that
deal
when you
with
get
it
there.
it comes.
Tackle that when it
We'll
comes.
tap on our attorney's shoulder down there and say, here you go.
Mr. Harper put
But I
a
think
John
that
Deere
first time
tractor in
around,
his.
I mean,
play by ear, let them do it
I
once.
hope
It's
they
a
do
total
it
disaster, and
fake.
chaos, and
Once
whatever.
paint over them all.
Paint over them all and be done with it. But
yeah,
I've seen a lot of
I think it'll
schools.
be a
You probably
thing
have
of
too,
pride.
that are baseball terms, wrestling
Right.
things. Lots of schools do it.
I've seen them and,
Take the
and
pride
they
in
are
it.
Some are
fun.
really-
They look,
yeah.
Great
yeah,
idea.
Very creative.
Some of them are,
and talented,
yeah.
and I think it'll be.
Pride.
I think the kids will love it.
I think they will be excited about it.
Okay, so if there's no concern on that, then we're good. Just another reminder that retirement dinner is Wednesday at 5:30 at O'Neill's. For those of you who are attending, the Grant County Bank is paying for all of the retirees and the board members. They will not pay if you bring a guest. So if you just need to let me know if you're coming, we'll give them the number.
You still,
Inside or
you still gonna pick me up?
If you want.
Yeah.
It's planning on being outside, but if it rains, they will move us inside. Mr. Harper's was inside, and we had his retirement dinner there. But, and you're good, you just can't bring a guest.
Okay.
With your mom.
I think I'm a drive. I think I'm a driver.
That brings back,
That's
I
the only
remember
reason
when
I was
I
looking
first
at you.
charged, made them pay the park. I had parents say, you're gonna have to pay too. And I charged them $5.
Did you pay your
I
And
$5
what came
ticket?
up, she was charging 65 or 70.
Yeah, I think it's like $40 now or something.
Is that, yeah.
It is.
Anything else?
Here's just some South Branch information to share with you. Anyone have anything else this evening? Future agenda items, you're gonna pass that policy then? for
Oh,
next meeting?
regarding the parent email, yes, we'll put the,
Dual credit
dual credit
policy.
policy on for you all for next time.
Anyone have anything else for future agenda items? Announcement, August the 18th, Hardy County Board of Education meeting at MIS at 5. And the retirement dinner, don't forget, is Wednesday at 5:30.
Other meals? And thanks to Grant County Bank.
Yeah, special thanks for them.
Yeah.
Any other announcements? Mission statements and accomplishments? Anyone have any?
Condolences to the Hott and Armentrout families.
Yes. And we did send, to Mr. Armentrout a card and gift from the board members, just so you all are aware of that.
Thank you.
I'd like to bring up, the Tri-County area is very rural, agricultural still, even though there's not a lot of farms. But I will say the 4-H and FFA programs are thriving. But the fair, we had the largest sale of animals ever. Now, not number of animals, but dollars.
Money, it's dollars.
Okay.
And so you gotta hear this, which is unbelievable. The hogs averaged almost $2,100 a pig, a person.
Wow.
The beef, a market beef averaged almost $5,500 a steer, or heifer. Actually, we sold a heifer. The goats averaged almost $1,500 a goat, and the lambs averaged almost $1,600. So that whole sale for 259 kids in the Tri-County area brought in $647,000.
That's amazing.
And the kids keep like 98% of that, or 99%. I mean, it's a huge,
That's great.
so,
You had the grand champion.
don't ask me that stuff.
Was that JW Teets?
Oh, he was
He was
the free form or whatever
yeah, the one that
that
they
they do.
interview and they go out.
The
and-
impromptu, yeah, you show someone else's animal.
Yes, yes.
There.
Who is that?
I don't know, but he was the winner on that.
Yeah, okay.
I'm usually too busy. I don't get to
Joe
watch
won
much,
something.
but it was,
Swan.
I just think we forget that, the kids learn a lot from those projects. Even if they're, like Josh was talking about his daughters, they were gone a little bit with softball and stuff, but still the responsibility was there. I'm trying to find you or someone else that could feed them for them and so forth. So I just think we are not going away, from kids learning things hands-on. And this,
Gives them a sense of responsibility.
I'm telling you, it's a great, I mean, I never did it in school. My dad did it back in 40s and 50s. I don't know why he never, so it's a lot of the parents pushing. But let me tell you, I just think we had my children do it. They learned a lot.
So my son's girlfriend, Wendy Miller, was involved in the fair. I think she had a lamb and she had a pig. And the emotional toll that you see it take on them.
When they have to
It's
get
like-
rid of their animal.
Yeah,
I mean, they become
I don't
pets.
even know, but I'm seeing pictures and she's like shaving it for the last time and like cleaning it up and getting it ready to go. I could
It's,
never do it.
A lot of this,
it's funny, but it's not when you see a, first year, doesn't have to be first year only, but usually first year show person
One of the
selling.
She's done this for
Tears coming
Tears
down their eye
streaming, too.
because, that's their baby, they-
Well,
But what a life lesson. Holy moly.
Not,
Yeah.
like I said, not all of them end up slaughtered. Some of them people.
No,
Yeah.
Because I
some of
have
them
one
might
that-
give it back and-
I have as a cow.
yeah, right. So they, like, especially the lambs, if you have a zoo that come back, people buy them and keep them because they know they're really top-notch genetics.
And what great community support just to go and
Oh, yeah.
support the kids that are doing that and buy them. And yeah, I've seen a lot.
And then we're always worried we're gonna run out of buyers, kind of like Hamburg egg sale. You don't wanna get too big, you're gonna run out of buyers. We're just not that big of a community. But
It worked out.
let me tell you, this is wonderful. And it's a lot of good college funds there.
And the Moorfield High School track looks amazing. If anybody hasn't seen that, they
It
didn't get a
does,
call
doesn't it?
today because it doesn't say Bill Hunt on it. They didn't put the Bill Hunt print back on it. So
They
I got a
did or
call.
they-
They
are they
did
not?
not. They didn't, but I'm guessing it's an oversight. It says Moorfield track on it. But I got a call and I told him I just got the call right before the meeting. I told him that I would reach out to Logan and just say, hey, can we get them back out there to get that back on it? So we'll do what we need to do to get that
I'm a
print
hope.
back on it.
He was a backbone of that
Yeah.
sucker being built.
Yeah, we'll do what we need to do, even if we have to do it on our own to get that printed on there, so.
Anything else? Next on the agenda is personnel. Did you need to go into executive session on personnel?
Nope, I do not. Miss
I need to be excused. J.C. Barr.
Oh, okay. Is that number 13?
Mhm.
Okay, we need to do it.
That is
13 and
what
10.
you called
Oh,
it,
and
right?
10, yeah, okay. 10
Yes.
and 13. All right, so let's do those first. I'll recommend the approval of the professional personnel hiring for J.C. Barr as a substitute teacher and J.C. Barr's long-term substitute teacher for science grades 6 to 8 at MMS.
Move to approve.
Second.
Probably moved in second to approve the superintendent's recommendations. Any discussion? If not, proceed to vote. All those in favor say aye.
Abstain.
And the vote is 3 ayes, 1 abstain.
All right, I recommend the approval of the service personnel hirings for Bonnie Walters, substitute aide, Julie Lofton, substitute aide, Amy Moyer, substitute clerk, Bonnie Walters, substitute cook, Mary Lafayette, substitute cook, all countywide. I recommend the approval of the service personnel extracurricular hiring for Deborah Ferris, school bus operator for the extracurricular bus run number 3. I recommend the approval of the rescission of hiring for Megan Dispinette as the social media coordinator for East Hardy Elementary School. I recommend the approval of the professional personnel hirings for Caitlin Sturgill, substitute teacher, George Collins, substitute teacher, Melanie Walker, substitute teacher, Caitlin Sturgill, long-term substitute for kindergarten at Moorfield Elementary School. I'll recommend the approval of the professional personnel extracurricular hirings for Jamin Hirschberger, both as the social media coordinator and Weavis coordinator for East Hardy Elementary School. Allison Heflin as leadership team for East Hardy Elementary. Robin C., leadership team, East Hardy Elementary. Crystal Atkinson, leadership team, East Hardy Elementary. Megan Dispinette, leadership team, East Hardy Elementary. Angela Funk, leadership team, pre-K, Moorfield Elementary. Karen Markwood, leadership team, kindergarten for Moorfield Elementary. Robin Williams, leadership team, first grade, Moorfield Elementary. Alicia Reynolds is leadership team, second grade for Moorfield Elementary. Laura Huffman, leadership team, special education or fine arts for Moorfield Elementary. Jessica Seville, leadership team, special ed, MIS. Alexandra Vetter, leadership team, grade 5 at MIS. Janae Billmeyer, leadership team, grade 4 at MIS. And Jennifer C., leadership team, third grade at MIS. Recommend the approval of the athletic hirings for Ryan Runyons, authorized certified coach without pay for football at Moorfield High. Megan Ferris, assistant coach girls volleyball, Moorfield High. Amelia Wagner, coach for cheerleading at Moorfield Middle. Tamara Weimer as limited football trainer, MHS MMS. I recommend the approval of Mervyn Pope Jr. as a volunteer team support personnel for football at Moorfield High School.
Motion to approve the superintendent's recommendations for personnel.
Second.
It's been probably moved in second to approve the superintendent's recommendations for personnel actions. Any discussion? Hearing none, proceed to vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, like sign. The vote is 4-0. Is there anything else that needs to be brought before the board this evening?
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Properly moved in second to adjourn. Any discussion? Not proceed to vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, like sign. Vote is 4-0. Shows adjourned at 6:23.